Something about talking on a mic, you feel like you're on a stage in front of 100,000 people, even though we're all friends. It's just weird. Anyway. Yes, I am.
I said freestyle.
Oh, freestyle, yeah. I'm good at that. Okay. I started a group on Facebook called Life After Death. And the reason I did that was and there apparently was 2 other groups called that, and I didn't know. One has 160,000 members, and the other one has 187,000 members. So I would have named it Life After Death 2 or something. But it's called Life After Death, so you have to look for the one that I'm the administrator, or I can send you links if you want. But I posted this, and the reason I created the group was for you to be able to, anybody that you've lost, to talk to your loved ones through words by writing it down on a post, what you would have said to them while they were alive, and to get it out and to share it. Because I, myself as a writer, I brought through my books today and shared them with a few of you. And it's just something so cathartic about being able to release your words and get it out, so that you can get closure. So like I said, when I started writing this, it just literally poured out of me. I couldn't believe it. And I do believe it was inspired myself from the Lord. So this was 2 days ago I wrote this. Today is only 2 days away from my mom, Bettyann Cartier's memorial to be held at American Legion Hall in Lake Helen. To everyone attending, just know Sunday evening will be filled with love, laughter, content, knowing my mom served our country like a faithful saint for 76 plus years. And yes, she wasn't perfect, but damn near close. For having lost her mom at only 19 years old and being raised by her grandparents. My poppy, Oscar Henry Burley, and Bessie Matilda Swan, both born in approximately 1895. I can still remember running and jumping on his lap. This life goes by so quickly, and we are all eventually going to meet our Maker. What and how have you lived and will continue to live your life? What will you be remembered for when you're dead from this world and living in the next? I know I will see my mom again. I know she helped the poor and needy her entire life. She was always the one who would make sure every year everyone was remembered on their birthdays. Christmas decorations got put up, and absolutely loved shopping at Bell's Outlet and Dollar Tree with my brother Adam Armstrong. She would give her last dollar to someone who needed it, even out of her lap. I am who I am because of her and the values of people, morals, and most of all, God. She used to walk me to Sunday school when I was a little girl down to the Baptist Church on Euclid Avenue here in Lake Helen. I remember Vivian, my Sunday school teacher, who led me to Jesus at 8 years old. And if it weren't for my mom, I don't know how I could have found the truth and been able to cope and deal with the struggles I went through as a kid and teenager. I am so incredibly grateful for the teaching and morals she taught me that I have also passed on and taught to my children, Joshua Peugeot and Lael Julianne Peugeot, who have both become incredible human beings that contribute to society and make our world a better place. It is true that what you sow is what you reap. If you plant weeds in your garden, you grow weeds. If you plant trees that bear fruit, you grow trees that continue to give and spread nourishment and health to our planet. My mom planted many trees, of which you can also see in Travis Hodge, Jalen Hodge, Rebecca Jones, Natalie Yannick, Amanda Forsythe, Taylor Farnstrom, her granddaughter, who is also now mother to 2 beautiful children, Benjamin and Julianne, who mom just absolutely adored and loved so much. There are so many of you that I have forgotten more than I can remember, and I wish I could list each and every person here, because obviously she left an impression on you as well that hopefully has yielded much fruit. I certainly think of both my children saying this and their accomplishments and how they live their lives today. She even helped me raise Joshua for about 2 very impressionable years when he was 5 and 6 years old while I was going to college to become a paramedic firefighter. I believe she will always be watching over all of us and will make her presence known whenever you find a random penny dated 2024. When my mom was in her last hours, the Gentiva nurse who showed up to check on mom realized what was happening and immediately was able to get everything going to prepare for her death. I had already given her to God on my knees in hard prayer the night before and surrendered her to God and His will, although I fought with everything in me in my critical care training to keep her alive after she came home from 3 weeks in the hospital. She had gone in able to walk and came out unable to stand. My mom truly was a fighter. She survived 3 heart attacks, kidney cancer, lots of other medical battles. She overcame all of them. However, this time was different. My mom knew she wasn't getting better. And at the very end, on April 7th, at around 9 p.m. night, she actually said to me, in quotation marks, "Carol, I'm already dead. Just let me go." It hit me like a brick. And that's when I cried all night, April 7th, which would have also been 30 years married to Dwayne Kilgus and his birthday. He was her true best friend and lover in this life. Although mine and Adam's dad, Bill Farnstrom, the first and had been her high school sweetheart, was the one who first took her innocence. I only learned of this the last week of her life. She loved our dad very, very much, but after many years of marriage and alcoholism, learning their love for each other, as well as affecting my life, she chose to let him go and move on so we could grow and be healthy. And that's when she met Dwayne Kilgus, brother of Kelvin Kilgus. I was 11 years old at that point. He was a big kid, and she was 9 years older. And although at first, him and I fought like schoolyard enemies, we eventually loved and cared for each other tremendously. Dwayne became a father and best friend to my brother Adam, and even saved his life once when Adam was having a bad asthma attack. I must mention my Uncle Brian, Doug Edwards, who came into my life also at 11 years, and has remained a loyal, faithful, and true friend our entire lives. He also was present during Mom's last hours, which I am so grateful to. Mom loved you very much, Brian, and she would want you to take care of yourself and live long as you deserve only the best in life. Harley is defined by you, brother. Dwayne was her true love, though, and she wanted to go be with him again. My son is named after him because he was there with me when I gave birth to Joshua at exactly 11:11. I had to respect this, and only with God's supernatural power and strength was I able to surrender her and have peace about it at the same time. She was unfortunately suffering and felt humiliated after the hospital because how she had deteriorated and how it happened so fast. We never know when someone's going to leave us, really, and it's so important to live each day without regrets, vengeance, or unforgiveness, because our time is coming too. I believe my mom died without regrets, only memories of choices she made, and maybe how she may have made other choices. However, with each choice, was always able to cope, learn, and teach me and others from it. This is how she lived without regret. My mom taught me so much about life, and was truly my greatest advisor. I don't know now who I will go to, but she said, in quotation marks, "I'll find somebody," in one of her last answers to me. She always had faith in the good, and that things would turn out as they are supposed to in God's will. I actually heard my mom, one of the nights I was fighting so hard to save her, roll over after we had said goodnight, and I stayed quietly. She didn't know. And I heard her pray, whispering, just enough to hear Adam's name, my name, and prayers about her health and family and his will. I heard her praying out loud for the first time in my life, and it hit me like a brick. She truly was a rock, a praying, believing woman of God, who I am descended from, and what an honor to call her mom. And for those of you who call grandma, sister-in-law, friend, confident, coworker, bulldog, gangster grandma, and so much more, to so many, yes, she lived up to all of them, and then some. And saint, definitely. There is a Bible scripture that says, "I have been young, now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." I trust this and know this is the truth because I have never had to beg. All of Psalm 37 really strikes me in reverence to her, but God's word is for all of us to relate to and draw strength from. It also says, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Another thing I'd like to share, hold on, sorry. Sorry. There we go. Another thing I'd like to share is her love for my Aunt Alice. Mommy and Aunt Alice were going to go to Woodstock in 1969, where Ivan Gray, also now part of our family, lived at the time in a bungalow colony. Aunt Alice and Mom had made plans and were all ready when Mom found out that she was pregnant with me. Who knows what might have become of that, right? Ivan and Mom became bestest of friends in the last 8 years as they delivered food together for Andy and Melissa, whom Mom had worked with Melissa previously at the state of Florida for years. So it wasn't just coincidence that we met each other again, but meant to be. And I am grateful for you both at Phrase's Scratch Cooking in Holly Hill, who was so generous and thoughtful to donate the food you're enjoying today. Ivan and Mom went shopping together almost 3 or 4 times a week, and I believe really found a place together in this life that will continue in the next, because I and my family all love Ivan as our own. He's truly one unique blind man. You would never know, have a clue, is actually legally blind by the way he lives his life and the accomplishments he has obtained in his life and working for the city of New York 17 years, including several mayors, including Giuliani, serving as a coordinator for the veterans and homeless to find jobs, assistance, and housing. And in this, Mom and Ivan definitely bonded in a huge way. I mention Ivan because Mom's passing is a devastating blow to all of us. And damn, I wish I hadn't took it for granted that she would always be around a few more years. I wish I would have ate every meal she cooked, every cake she baked, and every bit of fast food she brought home. But then again, I didn't at the time because I didn't realize it might be the last. I already miss her so much. And she also gave me some advice at the end of when to know if it's right to marry someone. She said, can you live without him? That was the question. I'm sharing this because of changes I'm going through and decisions I'm facing. So I'm also so grateful for all her wisdom, love, and values she instilled in both Adam and I vow to seek her wisdom and guidance, of course, in prayer and supplication, all that I do from this day forward. She will live on in the memories and hearts of so many people all over the world at this point because of her time helping thousands and thousands of people with the state of Florida, the Department of Children and Families, where she always went the extra mile and knew all the tricks and tips to really help those in need. She continued to help many people in her retirement years with getting help with food stamps and multiple social service assistance type of help. She was such an asset to our world, and her legacy will live on in how I live my life and how you live yours by what she impressed upon you. I've been told my whole life how I'm an angel while I was working in emergency medicine, but my mom was the angel who taught me to be compassionate and kind to everyone, even those who weren't kind back. I know now she's with Pop, Paul Cartier, a Grand Master Mason, of which my Poppy was as well. Pop also, at one time, was the commander here at this hall and even recruited the current commander, Roger. He was greatly admired, respected, and appreciated by many, many boys whom he taught to become men. She was greatly loved by him and had known him for over 30 years when they married. He loved and adored her and would have traveled the world with her in her retirement years. But life just got in the way, and she sacrificed those years to continue to be present in ours. Pop had a lot of struggles with this, and unfortunately it did bring pain and issues to our family. However, she always kept the peace, continued to cook dinners every night, which she loved doing because family was everything to her. There's a plaque under her TV that's on that back table back there that says, in quotation marks, family, ... where life begins and love never ends. This is how she truly felt, and even told me once, Carol, I may not have always liked you, but I've always loved you. Those words mean so much now. And I pray that someday when I pass, my children will love and admire my mothering to them as much as I appreciate it, and now really value all of her mothering, love, guidance, and support throughout that I have had in my life. There just simply isn't enough time or words to say everything I feel and remember, or I would keep you here all night and even tomorrow, but this is not where I say goodbye, but I miss you, Mom. I know I will see you again, and just know I am committed to living out whatever days or years I have left to honor you and Pop and how I live my life. This is a commitment I make to you now. To everyone attending, I can't thank you enough and hope and pray I've shared things with you that will treasure and never forget. I appreciate every person who has donated to the GoFundMe for Mom. She would also thank you so many, many times because she lived a heart of gratefulness and charity. To Roger, the current commander, I'd like to say thank you, and please pass this information on to whom you feel would appreciate it, and possibly some men who were once boys as yourself. Thank you to each and every one of you. I think Mom really appreciated that. And you know, I honestly, Carol, Natalie, Sue, Elaine, Vicky, Melissa, Travis, Ivan, Lael, John, Rebecca, Richard, Brian, Raymond, Felicia, Joan. How did you know Mama? You worked together at the state, or?
I went to school with her.
Wow.
Well, I worked with her.
Okay.
And I went to school with her at Jones College.
Oh wow. Oh man, she'd
And
be
I
on.
used to ride, when she would go to the land, I would ride with her. And one time the car broke down and we had to go knock on somebody's door, you know, because you didn't have telephones back then.
Right.
And I had to call my aunt and uncle in Quincy.
Oh my
to
gosh.
come out and for, you know, them to get the car running so
Yeah.
she could get home.
Wow. And I know Carmen was here with her daughter also. I want to mention her, but just so many of you. And if I've forgotten anybody, I apologize. But I'm just super grateful for all of you being here. I really appreciate it. And my mom would say thank you over and over to each and every one of you, and just be blown away by the love here today, because I feel it. You know, it's so obvious how much she
You
was
forgot
loved
to
and
put
admired.
your second mama in there, cause she was a second mama to a lot of us.
Oh yeah, she absolutely was a second mom.
Yeah.
Natalie's basically like my sister over there.
Name was
You know?
Betty, name was Mama.
Yeah.
You know, that's why she had so many nicknames. You know,
It's
because
either that or oh shit, run.
she was to so many people, so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she would be honored by this food. She loved Andy and Melissa. We actually delivered food together for about a year and a half together for Andy and Melissa at their restaurant that Ivan was also a part of getting started. And it was just a lot of fun and a great bonding time for us, and I'm super grateful for it, you know, that we had that time together. So if there's anything at all that you have any questions about, or like I said, all of those pictures that are on that back table, anyone, you're all welcome to help yourself to any picture you want. The Nicorettes, the book, the medicine dispenser are all anyone to take. And that's about it I can think of. You know, my mom and my pop both were lighthouses in this world. You know, Pop was a Grand Master Mason. You know, he's the guy that held the gavel. You know, and they say that's the Illuminati. Well, there's a good side to the Illuminati, and those are the Masons that founded this country. Yes, there's a side that have corrupted it and tried to taint it, but just know this country was founded on Christian morals and principles. And my mom and pop both were examples of them and who they were and who they still are in certain aspects. So, but we need to pray for our country right now, big time, especially with what's going on in the monetary system and how basically the New World Order, I'm not going to get off on a rant, but just be aware there's a lot going on with our money that the New World Order is trying to empty out all of the American banks. So just be aware of that. I hate to end that, you know, my whole speech, but I want you to be aware of it because this is a platform where I'm sharing something you might not be aware of. You know, so just check into it. It's called paper sweep.
That's why I don't have a bank account.
It's called paper sweep. If you paper sweep your money, you will no longer have a bank to go to. Everything will be digital. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I think my brother probably wants to say something.
No, you set it up.
You don't want to say anything?
No, Mom, I'm gonna eat something and then I'll probably.
Well, this is the time to talk, Adam, because everybody's, you know, after we're done, I already said that we were gonna both talk. So. You got something to say,